What's going on? What's going on? Let's get this popping. It's going to be a short one. Short message. A short channel message I have from Divine. So let's go and get this thing popping. Shout out to my new and old school subscribers. Shout out to my TikTok family. Let's get it. Let's go. Just got through working out. Catch me on TikTok here shortly. I'll be working out again. Look, y'all. Let me catch my breath. It was rough. Been doing some running today too, so getting that cardio up. Look, your Ascension is legendary, okay? Chosen loners have haters, aka big fans. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm gonna turn this down for a second because it's a little bit loud. I'll go ahead and turn this a little bit. Look, right now during your ascension process, some of you may still be going through a dark night of the soul, and some of you may be, actually, past that and kind of in your lone wolf, isolation, hermit mode. And some of you may be where I'm at, where you're actually coming out of hermit mode. You've been given every nudge, an indication it's time to, step out. Plus you want to, like it's really good the way that God does it, your higher self, because, you get used to your own home and, having your own, space and enjoying your own space and yourself and your own energy. And then that way, how you need to feel. So when you go out and about, like I do now, I go out after I'm charged up. I do everything I need to do, in the early day to make sure that, I have my protection on and that I have everything I need going on. Right. Hang on for a second. Sorry, my son. Those of you that actually have, kids and not using your kids as props, for whatever weird reason. Some of these weirdos out here. Anyway, you know what I mean? Your ascension, and what else? Oh, yeah. Knowing my energy and knowing, what to do, praying, meditating, getting all my work done. I have this thing where I like to get all my content out, all my work done by 1:30 p.m. and then spend the rest of the day up until pretty much almost 7 p.m. doing whatever I want to do, which is a lot of time for me. I mean, that's a lot of time to do a lot of stuff. I'm a very busy man, so to, allot that much time, which I spend, a good portion of it right now with my son, but whenever I meet the right woman, I'll be able to spend that time with her during that time. You know what I'm saying? Texting or, calling each other or whatever. And what I've realized is if I get all my protection up in the AM, get my work knocked out, when I go about, going out and about and meeting people or whatever, you're already protected. You know what I'm saying? Your protection's on. You've meditated, so no one's really going to be able to knock you off your square. As long as you're meditating, getting grounded, no one can really, whatever random thing that happens when you're out and about, honestly, at this point in your healing process, you're okay with random things happening. You're okay with, dealing with, a few things that happen here and there whenever you go out. You know how the system works. That's just life. When you're chosen, you're going to attract all kind of beings, and most of which will be, low vibrational. It's no big deal. You're highly protected. No one's going to, you're not going to be touched or anything like that or bothered. And honestly, you really don't want anyone to do that anyway, because they don't really want you to, throw those hands. So honestly, you're doing it for their protection, right? In a sense that, you don't want to hurt anybody. But you're vibrating high. Your energy is great every day. You're in your 5D self, really. You're in your ascended consciousness, just furthering your education. And it's not just like reading stuff, educating yourself. You're really trying to dig into yourself, your inner self, and your consciousness, and really pull out, deep thought and different perspectives and ways of looking at things that'll keep you in your mind in a state of consistent peace, because the way the world is set up, they want you to think linear, and then there's roadblocks that be put in place due to that linear way of thinking. They can control you. But when you have the mindset like I have, and a perspective of all things, and seeing things even from my enemy's perspective that's trying to shut me down, it allows me to be like, well, they give you all the ability to do whatever you want to do. You just have to think outside the box. Like, why would you, for example, stress about one channel, YouTube channel, when you can make 10, 20, right? You know what you're capable of. You trained yourself, right? This is why your haters watch you. You train yourself. There's probably one point in time where you're dropping like almost 8 to 10 videos a day on one channel, preparing yourself for the ability to put one video, if you wanted to, on 8 to 10 different channels a day, at least 6. So, that is a different perspective of looking at things, because God doesn't work through laziness. So you're not thinking about the work and the effort that's going to be needed to get it done. God's going to give you the timing, or give you the thought to be able to schedule things to be able to get it done. So that way, the linear way is not the only way. And so when obstacles are put in your place, it's just a lesson to teach you to think, in a broader perspective. Like you have no limits. That's what I think with most things. Like with the excuse me, y'all. With the got a lot going on, but outside the box thinking is how I like to think about everything. So it's like, okay, so one YouTube channel, for example, that's a box. So, I made it literal. Like, all right, well, if that's one box, I'll make a few more. Like, why not? So, that's taking outside the box thinking, or thinking about multiple boxes to another level. But, when a lot of people want to assume that the magic you have is just like luck, there's no luck to it. You work hard. And when you're a hard worker like you, and you put it all in God's hands, and you're getting your direction from God, God rewards you. But you work hard. You don't slack on anything. You're not lazy or nothing like that. You're always upgrading yourself, reflecting on yourself, and always keeping that mindset that everything that happens is for you and not to you. The victim mentality, however you want to consider it, however you want to, phrase it, is gone. There is no savior that's going to save you. God gave you everything you need to save yourself. All you got to do is trust in God, right? The Kundalini awakening is, it's a great experience. It's like being born again. You know what I'm saying? And if you know anything about it, it's really your way of getting to Christ consciousness, which is, if you know, I don't like to go too deep on that, because, some folks out there aren't ready to hear, what Christ consciousness is. You know what I'm saying? They want to think of it as a man. When you get to a certain level of ascension, you're like an ascended master type of thinking. You're in it's a certain level of consciousness where you're in an abundance of joy and peace at all times, right? That's a Christ consciousness. And, you can heal yourself and you can heal other people. Not saying that you are the man that was walking around, as God once before, but God is in you. And you have the ability to get to an ascendant level of mastery in yourself. Being, shown through whatever light God has in you to show, whatever he wants you to do, however it's going to be done. There's multiple ways of healing people. It can be dance, entertainment, it can be being a spiritual leader, life coach, a doctor, there's a lot of different ways, to be a healer. and ascended. You just the most important thing about the consciousness is just knowing how everything is connected and how the universe is in you, and you're connected to the universe, and you have direct access to the universe through your consciousness, your mind, and you use your soul to access that power. And every day you need to be moving with intent, because if you don't move with intent, something else will move you with intent. And this. The system has multiple ways and multiple constructs to move you if you're not consciously thinking about every action that you're doing. Now, you can be in flow with God and be consciously, thinking at the same time, meaning you're not allowing outside influences to ever take over, your daily life, of being a sovereign being. Your anonymity, so you're trying to maintain that. And really, it goes like this. If you think about it, it's like the powers that be just know that you're a God. And how can you control a God? Like, the only way to do it is through the mind, and by convincing them that they're not that, but not full out lying, just manipulating the situation in wordplay and taking what's in you and making it external, and making everything external when everything that they're trying to make external resides in you. And if you get your temple right, and you get your consciousness, your Christ consciousness right, you literally will have heaven on earth, and you will shine every day, and you will see God every day in everybody and everything, and you just want to share that with everybody. The ones that want to be enlightened, the ones that don't, they're still going to get enlightened. Just, you're not trying to argue, fuss, or fight, or force your beliefs or what God sends you to say, or, to put out on anyone, right? But let's just be real, right? Let's just call a spade a spade. You're dope, but you have no idea how dope you are, right? But also, in saying that, that's the best part. You get to be your authentic self, and you don't know what part of your authentic self resonates with people and makes them or draws them to you. There's different elements of yourself for each person, so you have no idea, but that's the best part. That way you can continue to do what you're doing that resonates with everyone in their own little way, without you knowing and then doing too much or whatever. It's by God's design. It's beautiful. It really is. It's beautiful. It's really it keeps the ego in check. You're literally shining from the inside. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you, chosen loners out there, you guys, you're an inspiration every day. You're an embodiment of love, and you're an example of God and God's love. And we appreciate everything you're doing every day. Keep God in your heart, and don't think that people aren't noticing you. Ladies out there that are, getting that hate out of your heart and starting to talk about, hey, I want to see men and women back together, and I'm done with dating advice and stuff like that. I want to focus more on self-improvement, going to the gym. You ladies are beautiful women. Don't think that you're not being noticed, okay? Obviously, you're already beautiful, but the fact that you're growing past wanting to give out dating advice for cheap clicks, it wasn't like you weren't noticed before, but you're definitely being noticed now. You're on the map. You're on the map. Showing a true side of you that you weren't showing before. You're starting to show the real side of you, which is beautiful, and it's a delight to see. So ladies out there that are enlightened and looking to expand, beyond. And there's a lot of y'all out there, readers doing it too, doing more than what they were doing before, doing different channels, doing different kind of things with their reads, dating coaches, switching things up, being more like life coaches, which, and motivational speakers, which is what y'all ladies, that's what you should be doing anyway. Telling ladies to, not be out there being of the world, and keeping, the flower of life as pure as possible for a man that's worth it. Not telling you ladies what to do, I'm just telling you ladies what other beautiful role model type women out there are saying, and I'm just saluting that. I see it. It's beautiful. Let's get to the fellas. You know what I'm saying? Look, fellas, you're out here being an example of masculinity, but a respectful, quiet, silent, strong type, stoic. You're not beating your chest, but nobody wants to try you. Your power is silent, but deafening. It's heavy. And as we flow through a room or walk into a room, our power is noticed and it's respected, as it should be, because we won't allow anything less. We don't walk around beating our chest, but we definitely have our chest out, standing up straight, right? Making eye contact, knowing that every move that we make defines us as the man that we claim that we are. Every move we make, every word we say, every action we take. We also know, being a man of our word, that's where your honor lies. Words come out of your mouth should mean something. And a real man, a Sigma man, stands behind his word, whether he makes a mistake and he has to apologize for it, understand that there's nothing wrong with that, whether he's going through something and he has let people, know, hey, look, this is bothering me a little bit. I had to take some time to myself, kind of recharge, or, X, Y, and Z happened to me, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I had to cry a little bit. Be able to define what a man is without, worrying about, what someone else has to say. Because as a man, as a real man, we know, who cares what they have to say, good or bad. It ain't gonna stop you from manning. It ain't gonna stop you from being the man that we are every day. It ain't gonna stop you from looking yourself in the mirror every day and being like, man, I'm a bad what. Love myself. We are the role models and the example of the kind of man that we wanted to see as a role model when we were children. Which means that the children today have a good role model to look up to. You're out there being coaches, mentors, doing it free of charge. Just wanting to be a good example, because that's your job here, and you have God in you, and you want to represent God as best you can, which means no lying, no cheating, no stealing, right? Treating women with respect, right? And the ones that don't treat you with respect, you get away from them. There's no need to argue, fuss, or fight. Exit stage left. They can say whatever they want to say. Remember, you're a man, and it makes no never mind to you, right? They cannot affect you by their words, so you don't need to affect them with your words or your hands. These are females. Do you understand? Right. Because it takes a lot for a woman not to use her words sometimes and want to destroy you, because they use their words a lot. So you shouldn't be using anything to try to destroy them, especially physically. If you don't get along, you go your separate ways, and you bid each other adieu, and you handle things like adults do. Adults do not argue, fuss, or fight. Now we get into disagreements, But when it gets heated, as an adult, and being a Sigma, we just agree to disagree, right? And this has your biggest fans quite upset. Really, that's man. Sorry, y'all. Had an unexpected visitor on my desk. It was an aunt. And, you guys have the same thing. You guys are having a bunch of little pesky critters watching you, just around, lingering in your energy, trying to call themselves hating on you, but actually growing from you every single day, becoming a better version of themselves, whether they know it or not, which is God's work. It won't work on them like they think it will, and you don't care about how they feel about you in any kind of way. So as far as you're concerned, you're just out here putting out the message, and God works them however he needs to. If that's them trying to compete with you, but they're upgrading themselves and speaking highly of God and becoming a reformed, low vibrational, creature, then that still works. You're inspiring people everywhere you go. With just the simple things you do. Like being humble, polite, showing discipline, resilience, and integrity. Hello, somebody. Looky here. Just by being an example of God's love. Listen, y'all, this download was dope. I was feeling this download while I was meditating earlier. Not too much earlier, but just before I made this video. Okay? You make mistakes, but you have no problem owning up to them and moving right along without overly judging yourself, and this bothers your haters. They're still mad at all kind of stuff with themselves. But you just get it out, let it go, and move on. It's inspiring, but they're never going to tell you that. You are forever growing and inspiring. Believe it or not, people do grow from watching you. And you trying to become the best version of yourself every single day, it is something that is legendary and for the books. So before I go, please understand this. Don't stop. Keep working. God is working. And don't put a time stamp on when you believe for you to see your abundance come in. You don't know nothing about divine time. Because divine time doesn't run on your time. All right now. That being said, before I go, you know what I do. Love myself. Love yourself. And love God. I'm out.